Okay, Honeysuckle Rose. Lots of different versions. Here's one. Key of F. I'm going to play the real basic version of the chords, sort of systemize it. Do a basic version of the melody, sort of systemize that, and then add some drills, some triad drills, understanding the triads, because not only can you get, it's all connected, but a great way to figure out melody and riffs as well as chord solos. So, okay, here we go. Hopefully you have the song in your head. It's an AABA form. In other words, well, I think it's 8 measures of one thing, repeated by 8 measures of the same thing, with a different 8 measures of something else for the bridge, and then back to one of the first versions. AABA structure. That description was a little weak, but here we go. This is what we're going to do. I'll play it a little first before I break it down. I think I can remember how to do that twice. I won't get carried away on it though. So the first thing we're doing is, it's basically this. See, every honeybee seems to smell at me. Goodness knows. Okay, a lot of C, but is G minor 7 and C. Often considered 2/5, or in wit talk, it's companion chords. So other parts of the neck, if you had G's and C's. You can keep dressing it up and dressing it up and dressing it up and moving it around. But ultimately, all you're playing is C or G, C, okay? Probably safe to say G minor and C. Now, we're doing, the next chunk is F, F7, B flat minor, F, C, F. But this is how I did it. I went F, F7, I think I went to B flat here, right? No, I went to B flat here, 3rd in the bass. Okay, so there's the bar, the B flat, and this is the 3rd in the bass. And then I put the root in the bass and played what's a minor 6, that's what it is. Then I brought this down, and you could have done it this way. Bring it down, put the 3rd in the bass of the F, C7, F. Push to the diminished, which is not in the melody, but a nice way to start that next A part. Not letter key of A, but just as a designation of where we are in the song, the next chunk. So here we go. Repeat. You could go to the other F7s. This is the F7 with the flat 7 in the bass, or you could that one, or as long as you go F, F7, B flat minor. But we'll stick to the program for now. Now it goes to the bridge, the B part. Okay, there's a subtlety that's sometimes omitted. What I'm going to do to make it just kind of a straightforward way to demonstrate it is the bridge is made up of 4 chords: F, B flat, G, and C. I'm going to use the same idea over F and B flat, and then a slightly different version, almost the same, for the G and the C. And it's based on the F being a major and not a dominant, and the G7 too bright, somebody might say, being a 7th chord, and same with the 5, the C7. Okay, so here we go. I'll do it once and I'll explain it. Okay, so it's F major, C7 with the 5th on the bass. Push this all up 1, it's a diminished. And now these 2 fingers exchange because you want to hang on to this note, and then these guys on the outside, they push up 1 fret. What you've created is F major with the 3rd in the bass. Okay, so here goes. Nice. We go to B flat, which is 1 fret up from here. Right here. We're going to go up to it and do the same thing we just did over F, but with a different rhythm. 1 beat here, 1 beat here, 1 beat here, so that you can work your way home, which is skip that diminished, but go to the F. I'll do it one more time. Ready? Slow. I'm sorry. Okay. I like doing this. Not everybody would. That too. That's probably more appropriate, actually. The next chord we're trying to get to is a G7, so I set it up with a D minor 7. G7. Let's skip that idea for the time being. Let's just do this from the B flat. G7. Almost the same thing. I'll do it once and then I'll explain. This is G7. Now instead of doing this like we did the C7 here, we're making it a D minor 7. It's more closely, it's actually accurately related to this chord. Now push these 2 up 1 fret and drop this one here, and you've got that same diminished. And then the same thing that you did on that previous position where you slide these guys up and exchange fingers. You've made a G with the 3rd in the bass. So I'll do it again. Next chord, same thing, mirrors that same passage. Sorry. That's all there is to the bridge. Now, for variety's sake, and because we're up here on the neck, let's play that last A, right? It's A, A, B, A form. We've just played the B part, the bridge. Instead of going back down to here, which is totally fine and you can do it, we will play a variation on it. So this is, remember I said it's G minors and C's, so we'll play the G minor and C up here. G minor, C, G minor, C, C7 to be exact. And now just for variety's sake, F, it's like an F, it's an F major 6. The root would be here, but I play the bass note as my lowest note. I put a 5th in the bass. This looks a little like a D minor, but this is just a 6. F6. Okay. So 2 beats. Then let's do it this way. So you can go. No. We'll go this way. Let's do it that way. F major, F6, 7, B flat major, B flat minor 6 technically, F with the 3rd in the bass, C7 with the 5th in the bass, F. Push up to the diminished, and you're ready to start the whole thing again. Here we go, one time through, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Make sure this camera's working, yes. Okay, that's a great place to start. Let's look at the melody really quick. I'm just going to pick this part of the neck. This is F. Okay. First I'll show just by route, and then I'll give some ideas. By route, by route. Now, that is very, very vanilla, but that's okay. That's what we want first. Sorry. Any way you hear it is fine. Alright, this looks like the D minor kind of. I'll give it a variation. This is what we're doing. Some people can play that all day long and go way past that. But I just basically played, a solo, and you could kind of hear the melody in it. It's in the back of my mind all the time. And then there's sort of intellectual things are on my mind too. What I mean by that is, I'm aware of what are the chords at the time. Sometimes not. Sometimes I let go of that by accident, distraction, or just sometimes because I pursue an idea and I don't even know what it is. Everything's allowed, but through analysis or practice, it's like the less abstract we are, it's easier to systemize and to, come up with ways to practice things. Here's a good idea, is to learn the triads. They hold majority of the notes, they hold the seventh chord or the minor. They hold all the ingredients in chunks, and they often, you can use those shapes as spot intervals, so that you're not just playing like these lines that are just like scalar, which would be tedious and boring after a while. Actually, I like to stay away from exact arpeggios, and I did one, but it was appropriate. So, anyway, what I'm getting at is, think about the chords of the song a little bit. 2, 5, 1, G minor, C7, and F. So a little bit, here's G minor, here's C7, or C7 could be this way. F. See that? There's your F, the C chord and C7. There's those notes right off the top of it. That's also G minor, C, F. This is really too abstract for me to try to teach this way. I can tell this is probably only confusing. So what I'm going to do is try to save some face here and just do a good triad exercise. And when that's familiar, we could have the conversation I was trying to put on you right there. So here, let's do this. This is an F, whether you know it or not. Check this out. We'll do the 3 Fs. There's an F major. This says, what I mean by says is it's made up of the 3rd, the 5th, and the root. Each one of those, to find the next one, each one of them goes up to the scale. So the 3rd goes 3, 4, 5. The 5 goes 5, 6, 7, 1. 1 goes 1, 2, 3. If you do that, you'll arrive at that shape, which is correct. In fact, that is the next shape. That's the next F major. This says, this was 3 to 5, so that's 5. This was 5 to 1. That's 1. This is 1 to 3. That's 3. So 5, root, and 3. After weeks of doing this, maybe not even, you'll just see that shape and you'll know that's 5, that's root, that's 3. When you know that, you know how to make it a 7th, or you know how to make it a minor. If you don't know, you're about to. When you lower the root 2 frets, 1 step, that's a 7 down there. Okay? So F, F7. Okay? Another way to do 7, there's 2 ways to do it. That's 5. 5, 6, 7. You can put it there. I hit the wrong 6. So this is F7 as well. Okay? You don't do it with the 3rd because the 3rd would have to pass through the root going one way or pass through the 5th going the other way. So it would be redundant. Now, when you use bigger chords that spread out across the neck, they're not on adjacent strings, there are more abstract ways of play things. This only applies to playing on adjacent strings, sort of neat little packages. Okay. One more thing, the minor. If this is a major, if this is F, and that's the 5 and the root and the 3, how do you make a minor? It's the same on any instrument. You flatten the 3rd, 1 fret down, or 1 half step down in regular music. So that's minor all day long. Okay. Same with here. This was F major, 3, 5, and 1. Lower the 3rd. That's F minor. Let's go up to the next 5, 6, major 7, root 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. In other words, they all went up the scale. And correctamundo, that is the next F. Okay? root, 3, and 5. So anything that we just mentioned about seventh chords and minors, I'm kind of jumping ahead by pointing that out already. But for instance, a minor would be flatting the third. There it is. So here's a good drill. First, play all the triads. F major, F major, F major. And it's okay to any way you want, but that's the first good drill. Okay? And then you might try doing that in other keys, or you might try 1, 4, 5. So a B flat, one in F, B flat, C7, and F is the 1, 4, 5. You know, blues or country, basic 3-chord progression. So F major, B flat major. And what you'll do is you're going to use one of each of the shapes that you've just learned. If you use 2 of the same shapes, it means you left the position. No harm, no foul. Just as information goes, if you're trying to be thorough and play them all, use a different one so that you, when you've played 1, 4, and 5, you will have used one of each of the shapes. Here's F, here's B flat. C is a little confusing because you're using open strings. Right? F. Go up to the next one. F. Where's B flat? It almost always goes first chord, push up to some degree to the 4, go down to the 5, and that usually covers one position. These are not real rules necessarily. It's just a way to organize it, to think about it, so that you're thorough and cover everything. F, B flat, right? Looks like that shape. B flat, down to the C7. Well, we'll play just C. We won't do 7s because then that's another drill. Just C. So it'll be a little vanilla, but F. Nothing wrong with vanilla. Up to F. B flat, C, F. Right? So I've used each of the 3 shapes. We haven't had to learn anything else. So now you could decide which way I want to make a 7 chord. Let's say, for instance, on this F, right? F, B flat, and the next one is a C, which we went down here. Let's raise the 5th. Root 3, 5. There it is. So we'll go C, B flat, F. Sorry, I'll say it again. F, B flat, C7, F. You could have done it other ways, but you just make up little drills, make assignments for yourself. Practice all of the C chords with a raised 5th. So here's the first C. This is a little confusing. I'm sorry I keep saying that, but it's true. Right, it's this. It looks like that, but the fret, the nut is doing the work for us. Okay. So this reads 5, root, and 3. So 5, 6, 7. That's a C7. Go to the next C chord. C. Find the 5. This reads root 3, 5. Go to the next C. This reads 3, 5, and root. Take the 5 and push it all up. Same distances, same relationships, always consistent. C. So now try playing 1, 4, 5, F, B flat, and C, C7, and go right to the C7. Don't go through the process. That won't be easy the first time, but for instance, F, B flat, C7, F, F, B flat, C7, F, F, B flat 7. Sorry, I made the wrong one. F, B flat, C7, F. That's a real pretty one. It has built-in contrary motion. C7, F. Okay? This goes on and on and on, so I'm going to stop there. But that's what I'm seeing. Just as to get back to the soloing part, I'm seeing that kind of thing. I'm seeing that G minor. I'm seeing the C7. I'm seeing it in different places, different ways, because I've practiced that a lot. I get, but that's where I started from. Exactly where I started from. So for instance, here's G minor, C7, G minor, C7. So I'm familiar with the scale. I'm comfortable with the scale, and now I'm getting comfortable with the triad. Here's G minor. Okay, I just went right up the arpeggio. That's a C7. There's the F. There's the G. C7. F. Remember, now what happens after the F when you're going to start the form again? Diminished. So as you're using your ear and you're starting to hear these things, here's the diminished. G minor. C7. This is all G minor. That's a G minor 7th, but really these shapes over time they become familiar. Just trust me. There's the C7. There's C7 to F. That's diminished. Now I am spreading my fingers wide and going around, but I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm following. Now, just because it's exactly doesn't mean it's easier. You're supposed to understand it right away. But conceptually, you'll start to get it, and you'll start to have eureka moments if we keep talking like this and playing like this. So, okay, enjoy Honeysuckle Rose.